Hi, Janelle Schaefer here with Sheep Hill Herbs. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. I'm an herbalist and artist, and I talk about both of those things on this channel. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you Yarrow. It is an early plant. It comes up early, and the leaves are very unmistakable. And I want to share with you a few things you can do with your early yarrow plants. So let's go into the video. Okay, so in this pot I have yarrow growing, which is Achillea millefolium, for the many little feathery leaves that are characteristic of this plant. And this plant comes up early. It is one of the early risers. The flower does not come for quite some time. I want to say a month or two. So it's like just into April, but it started to come alive in March. And you can use this plant before it has the flower, before you're actually even planting many of your garden crops. So let's talk a little bit more about this. Okay, so I just came over to another patch of yarrow, and I'm kind of in, so I'm getting in the shade here. So this plant kind of looks like a fern, and if you do not know how to identify, you can kind of get stuck on a lot of plant identification. I really recommend that you have someone help you. You have B, a book, and I'll put one in the description. C, a plant app, and I will also list the plant app that I like to use. So pretty much you're having like three different ways, three different like types of identification to help you until you really know your plants inside and out, upwards, downwards, backwards, forwards. So in the beginning, I used to have people come to my house who lived in the area, older than I, and who knew plants, and they would go around my yard with me and teach me plants. And I've watched many plant identification videos, and so that is another way, and that's what this is helping you with. But it's like you want to have like layers upon layers of learning to really understand what you're identifying, because it is important to identify correctly. So I know that I have yarrow here. I planted it, and this plant, I'm going to go back to the plant. This plant transplants very easily. You can have just like one little itty bitty root. I'm going to try to, here's a toy. One itty bitty root, and this is in stone here. This is not even good soil. One itty bitty root, and you can get that plant to transplant into somewhere else really easily. So I've moved many patches, because they do get thick and kind of overgrow. I move them to different beds and around my yard to different gardens. So yarrow, what are you going to use it for? Well, at this time of year, I usually, as soon as I am able, I go out to my garden and I start picking my fresh greens to make tea with. I really prefer fresh tea versus dried herb tea. That's my preference. There are a few herbs that I don't mind dried, like the roots, dandelion or burdock, but the leafy ones, the floral ones, they're really just so nice when they're fresh. So I would collect these and then add them to a pot of herbal tea in the morning. And yarrow is kind of one of those cure-all type of herbs. It is great for women's issues. It's for what ails, whatever ails. It is something that they say to be wary of if you're pregnant, because It can be, it can, I guess, in some instances, and probably in large amounts, start uterine contractions, but most plants are very friendly, especially in a small amount as you would in a cup of tea. But for the most part, I'd say watch yarrow if you're pregnant. Ask your midwife, ask your healthcare professional. Otherwise, enjoy your yarrow. So I heard Rosemary Gladstar teach about using yarrow, how you dry it for wounds to stop bleeding. And basically you would pull these little feathery leaves off and have them dry independently of the stem, because they will dry really fast and they will become go into a very small powdery form. So then you can take that dried powdered yarrow and put it on a cut or a wound that needs to be, you know, where the bleeding needs to be stopped. It's a styptic. Now, of course, we are using plants for with common sense. So this, when would you do this? Well, maybe you're on a hike, or maybe you're on a walk, or maybe you have a small cut or something, and you picking and gathering some quick herbal first aid from your garden or from nature, what's around you. Of course, use common sense if you have an injury. For the most part, herbs are there. They can help you, but you know, when you have to get to a doctor or to an urgent care center or something. But it's awesome and really helpful if you know what's in your environment, especially, like I said, if you're hiking, if you're backpacking, if you're camping, and you can use the herbs that are right there, especially in a pinch when you really need to. So I like my yarrow for its first aid benefits, for its flavor. It's actually even good for teeth. You could just chew on some yarrow. It has it's slightly bitter. So whenever an herb is bitter, it's good for the digestive organs, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, spleen. And it has minerals and vitamins and oral health care components that will help with keeping teeth and gums nice. A lot of native peoples really relied on sticks and herbs and different plants, chewing on like barks and things to clean their teeth and keep their gums healthy. So when you are growing your garden herbs, you can stop and chew on some sage, or chew on some peppermint, or chew on some yarrow. And then yarrow, mainly the flowers, but the leaves do have the property of being a diaphoretic, which means that it will help you sweat. So if you have a temperature coming on, you can help break that temperature, that fever, with a diaphoretic herb like yarrow that will help bring on that sweating. So yarrow is also, and I wish it was flowering right now, exceptionally beautiful. The plant, the flower, white is preferred for medicinal value, but you can buy all kinds of varieties, yellows and pinks, and they're really, really pretty. So it has that purpose too for growing in your garden. But if you have it and you don't know what to do with it right now, I hope this video gave you some clues. So I thank you, and check in my description down below. I have a lot of great links. I have 3 books I've written. One about making herbal tea, all you need to know about making herbal tea. It's a little booklet. I have a children's book called The Story of the Gluten-Free Kid that I wrote and illustrated with my children. And I also have a Mommy and Me art journaling activity book. Now that isn't just for moms, but that's what I called it because I did it with my kids. So check out my links, and like, subscribe, comment, come again, and I will see you soon. Thanks.